Let's talk about what the avoidant, codependent mother looks like. And the avoidant, codependent mother is basically one who is not aware that she is codependent. She's not self-aware. She is living in a state of codependency with a narcissist, usually the father, your father, or her husband, your stepdad could be, or she could be living under the roof of narcissistic parents. And so that could be where the codependency is playing out as well. So with a codependent avoidant mother, and this is why I call her avoidant, is because she is not aware of her codependency and how she is treating herself, her lack of boundaries, and therefore how she is affecting her own children. So let's get into that a little bit, because if you are a child of a narcissistic parent with a codependent spouse, a codependent mother or father, this can be really difficult to understand their strange behaviors. So the first thing that I want to address here is that this video is not to shame a codependent, okay? That's not at all what this is about. I am sharing the traits of an unaware codependent mother and what that can look like. And if she's unaware, she's going to be operating from certain behavioral patterns that affect her children's lives in very negative ways. And this begins with enabling the father's or their spouses or their parents' behavior, whoever it is close to them, or the narcissists in general in their lives, that they are constantly enabling. And the bending over backwards for everyone else at their own expense, including your expense. So their own children are paying the price for their lack of boundaries, their avoidance to see how they are interacting in toxic ways with individuals by not having boundaries. And so because of these lack of boundaries, the fact that she doesn't prioritize her own needs, she's not going to prioritize the needs of her children, because she is going to be putting the narcissists in her life and around her and her children's lives first. So this can end up being a very dangerous situation for kids. And there are reasons that she is avoidant. So the first reason is because she's completely unaware. And so when someone finally mentions to her or points out to her that these things are happening, she is so lost in the codependency, the unawareness of codependency, that she doesn't believe in her own reality. She is still lost in the identity of the narcissist or the narcissist in her life. So that's one reason that she's avoidant, because she's just unaware. The other reason she can be unavoidant is she's refusing to see it. She's choosing not to. She's wanting to overlook it. And this is a strong trait of a codependent. They want to see the best in everyone, and they want to hope the best in everyone. And so she's living in this delusional state of mind. And so in many ways, she can take on some of these narcissistic traits, because the narcissist has trained her on how to gaslight. The narcissist has trained her on how to be avoidant and not take responsibility. So she's going to do whatever she can to protect the narcissist. And this is something I work with codependents on and help them to understand, because in a lot of cases, when they first come to therapy or coaching, they don't want to admit to and see what's really going on. And a lot of times they'll end up quitting therapy or counseling because it's too unbearable for them to face, and then move forward in taking action on doing anything about it. So for children of the codependent avoidant mother, this can leave them feeling so unheard, so unseen, invalidated, and feeling abused, even emotionally neglected and deprived by their own mother. So this can be a very painful thing for a child to have to endure growing up, and in many cases children end up resenting not just the narcissistic parent but the codependent parent as well, especially the avoidant codependent mother, because the wounds from that mother-child relationship go really far back to infancy even, where the codependent mother is putting the narcissist's needs ahead of their own baby. So that bond ends up being traumatized from a very, very early age. And that continues on so long as the codependent mother stays unaware and stays avoidant. So it can be really difficult as an adult child, especially, to forgive that parent and to try and cultivate a healthy relationship with that parent, especially if they never became aware of their codependency, and especially if their behaviors are still manifesting in ways that they were as a child. So then the adult child of the codependent avoidant mom ends up continuing to be gaslit, continuing to be neglected, and the trauma continues on. So this is why it's so important for children of this dynamic to set healthy boundaries. Awareness, of course, is everything, because if we aren't aware of something, we don't know what we don't know, and then we can't do anything with it. We can't do anything about it. But once you are aware of this, and you can see the dynamic still existing, it's so important to set boundaries to protect yourself from this parent, because this parent is still lost in the trauma bond with the narcissist. And so now you have to not just protect yourself from the narcissist and their lives, you also need to protect yourself from their behaviors as well, as heartbreaking as that is. And then what you can do if the mother has become aware of this and she is beginning to heal and recover from the abuse, from the codependency, then you can set healthy boundaries and slowly cultivate that relationship in a way that can be so healing for the both of you. And that's such a beautiful blessing to be able to do that with a recovering codependent, especially a recovering codependent mother. I hope this video is helpful, and if you like it, please hit like, subscribe to this channel, and you'll see more videos like this. Take care.